Hey, what's up, Facebook cool girls, Facebook cool chicks? It's me, Michael, Copper Kid. The time is 12:58 a.m. It's still the 31st, May 31, 2021, and I'm still talking about the Toyota MR2. And once again, this is just a conversation between me and you. You know, we're in my room. It's a public conversation privately. Obviously, it's like we have the window open, so anybody hearing the conversation, it's not meant for them. It's for me and you. And we're doing research on the car, all right? And we're on Wikipedia, and I'm reading it out to you, and that's all it is, all right? I'm doing it for review reasons for you, and that's what the conversation is about, all right? So it's a continuation of the last recording. The MR2 derived from a 1976 Toyota design project with the goal of a car which would be enjoyable to drive, yet still provide good fuel economy. Not necessarily a sports car design. Design work began in 1979 when Akio Yoshida from Toyota's testing department started to evaluate alternatives for engine placement and drive method, finalizing a mid-transverse engine placement. Toyota called the 1981 prototype SAX. All right. So a lot of cars they start as project cars. Like I was like hearing people do like reports on cars, and a lot of the car companies that are out there, they have the same engine. A lot of people don't know that. Like GM, General Motors, and GMC and stuff like that. They tend to, like, I don't know if you know this, but you could go. Well, I don't know now because I haven't been in that market in recent years. But before, you could be able to buy an engine from, like, let's say GM, and you can install it, like, pretty much a brand new engine to your car. I don't know if they still do that, right? But car companies, I talk about it before, or talked about it before, like Lamborghini, like all those really fancy car companies. They're really expensive because they don't market, on a global scale. Maybe now they do, but I mean, when they start, they market privately, right? They make a car, they make a car like one by one, and as soon as they start, getting, like, I'm gonna say, you know, a list of people that want the car, then eventually they'll put it into production. So I don't know if you ever hear cars that, they have like prototypes. Those are cars that they don't intend to sell ever. They just have them there, and occasionally people, they're willing to pay the money to have access to that car, right? So I think there's like a red. There's supposed to be a red Back to the Future car that it holds the original design. Like, according to what I read, the Back to the Future car, the red one, they restyled that car, and there's like one that's red, right? Like, I have a picture of it. I'll probably post it just for a reference. And, like, once again, I'm doing this for the speech, practice. I haven't done any of these recordings in a while. In my personal life, I really don't talk to anybody, and, like, I feel like I need to do this. All right, so just know that any conversation, glitches is because of that. All right, so. From its original design, the car evolved into a sports car, and further prototypes were tested both in Japan and in the U.S. Significant testing was performed on a race circuits, including Willow Springs, where former Formula One driver, um, I was just gonna say Dan. Well, I'll just say his name, Dan Gurney, tested the car. All three generations were in compliance with Japanese government regulations concerning exterior dimensions and engine displacement. The MR2 appeared around the same time as the Honda CRX and Nissan EXA. From Japan to Pontiac, Fiero and Ford EXP. Right, so right there they're telling you that around the same time, like I say, competition and anything, if people get, how they say, I think they say wind of it, right? The competition is going to start trying to develop the same car, the same style, just to hit the market quickly. Some companies, like I talked about this before, that's what they were doing with like PUBG and stuff like that. PUBG, H1Z1, Fortnite, they're just the game companies are just trying to, get into the market quickly. And they'll throw anything at the consumer and just to hit the market, just to be the first ones to hit the market, right? And as soon as they hit the market, then occasionally, they'll start doing patches. And, eventually they give you a full game. Sometimes, sometimes the company just kind of like, they're just doing it for competition. They just want to make the company struggle that maybe they didn't want to sell the game to them or the car, they say design. So they do their own, kind of like what happened with PlayStation and, Nintendo. The car companies, the companies start getting into, they're risking their company's name by allowing another company, get involved with them. So then they start, even though the concept is good, they start getting worried about, what might happen if the company takes off, right? Who's going to be in control of that company, right? So I don't know if you know this, but like Honda and Acura is the same company, right? In the United States, it's not, but in Japan, it's the same company. It's just Honda. I don't think they have Acura in Japan. I think it's just Honda, right? They do it for shipping reasons, right? A lot of people think that the cars come, they might not send all the parts fully developed, but they might send out like certain parts that you can't find in the United States, and they do it on purpose for people that car companies, right? So anything they could like manufacture on this side, they do it, and anything that the company holds the rights to it, then they'll ship it directly so that they only use it on that car. So pretty much, let's say you want to get, a stereo from Honda, you can't buy it aftermarket, and you have to buy the whole car just to get that stereo kind of thing. I don't know if you get that, right? So that's why people go to the junkyard to get certain stuff, because you won't be able to buy it aftermarket. You might find copies of it, but you will never be able to buy the original version because the companies don't make money off of it. All right, so this is stuff that you might find, you might not find it. Like once again, if you hear like nonsense in the background, like talk, like nonsense talk, is it might record, all right? Just know that it's just kind of like a frequency interference of people that keep trying to pretty much like just have a conversation with me daily, and I honestly don't know who they are, so just understand that, right? If you people know who they are, then you already know what's going on, right? If you believe it, you believe it, and if you don't, you don't, right? Toyota debuted its SV3 concept car in October 1983 at the Tokyo Motor Show, gathering press and audience publicity. The car was scheduled for Japanese launch in the second quarter of 1984 under the name MR2. Alright, so right here, the first generation was from 1984 to 1986. That one you could find it in the 5-speed manual and 4-speed automatic. All right. Obviously it's a two-door coupe, and I already told you like a coupe is a two-door, right? Toyota introduced the first generation. Hold on, give me a second, alright, I'm gonna check the timing. All right, so I'm gonna stop the recording at that. And right now I'm probably gonna do one or two more. All right, I haven't done these recordings. I honestly need to. I honestly need to do it for the speech reasons. All right, laters. It's me, Michael. Copper Kid, just saying hi. All right, laters. Bye.